ladies and gents, I hope everybody's doing alright. Coming on to do a quick bit of a tutorial and a bit of a catch up. I've been missing in action, as people call it, for maybe a week or so. Not sure. Yeah, much as I love my YouTube channel, it's not been my main priority, unfortunately, for the last few weeks, because I've been really busy and I've suffered quite badly with my health as well. But you don't want to hear about that. It's well boring. We all have aches and pains, don't we? Yeah, I've got to go and have an MRI scan because I've got a long-standing problem with my back. I think a lot of ladies suffer, don't they? Us poor women, we get a right raw deal. You know, we're carrying babies and this, that and other. It takes its toll, doesn't it? So, yeah, so I've been struggling a bit and I've been really busy. And I've had my grandson's birthday and I've just been really busy. I haven't had time to come on, to be honest. Right, so, but what I have been doing, I managed to, while I was chatting to some friends last night, I made a few flowers, so I just thought I'd come and show you. I absolutely love making flowers. Love them. I use whatever odds and ends I've got left. What I've got left over, really. And I've used some lovely guppy lace on this one. Guppy lace can be a bit expensive for making flowers, but, you know, if you've got odds and ends left over, why not make a luxurious flower out of it? And I've used some of this beautiful embroidered tulle as well. And this, I call this a jellyfish. It's like a flower with tassels and I call it jellyfish lace. And one of these lovely beaded centres that I've had made. And another one there, look, these are all brown colours and I've used this like golden guppy area. And this lovely embroidered tulle, I love it. It's absolutely, this is the best quality embroidered tulle I've ever used or had the pleasure to use. As I say, I only use raw lens of this because it's quite a dear thing. So I only use bits that are left over, and this one again. And I've used these beaded hoops that I've just cut off of a flower cluster that I had gifted. And I've used some lace pearls here. I'm going to put some seam binding down there as well, I think. And this lovely rosette here. This rosette is slightly different to normal ones because your normal ones are, they're like chiffon. Well, this one's satin, polyester satin. Beautiful. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. But what I thought I'd come on and do is show some ladies how to make one of these, which is a rolled rose. Now, there are lots of videos out there. This is nothing new, okay? But I just thought some ladies that watch my channel might not know how to do these. And I have recently sold an embellishment kit and make your own, you know, to make your own embellishments. And I gave the ladies lots and lots of ribbon. And the idea being was to make these, to make embellishments. You know, because I showed them how, I did a tutorial on this type of thing. On these kind of embellishments. And one of them had a rolled rose in the middle. And then I thought, well, blimey, you know, some ladies might not know how to do them. So, anyway, to cut along the story short, God, don't have to go around houses with me explanations. And just like to remind the ladies that bought the kits as well, you can make these. The flowers, and it's not a flower at all, Amanda, it's a heart. You can make the hearts. Okay. Right, so what you do is you get your length of ribbon. Okay, any ribbon will do. Don't matter what quality it is, really. It doesn't matter if it's printed on one side, if it's double faceted. I find the thinner the ribbon, the better, because it can get a bit chunky otherwise. And I find that for these kind of roses, which this one's turned out to be like 2 inch, my ribbon is 1.5 inches wide, and this is what I put in the kits. And I think I put 3 different colours in. Now, I don't measure out how much I'm going to use because it depends how big I want it, okay? You might only want it a small rose, you might want a great big rose, so you just carry on folding and folding until you're happy with what you've got. And what you do is you start off with your ribbon, and your first move is to make sure your glue gun's on. Hold on, mine's on, but I haven't got a glue stick in it. I don't know, hold on a minute. Yeah, your first move is make sure your glue gun's on. Now, you can sew them. You can get a thread if you're a lady that doesn't really... Some ladies don't use hot glue. I've seen lots and lots of crafters that do not use hot glue. They use even fabric crafters. One lady that springs to mind is Jeanette Bagley. She makes the most beautiful projects, and she doesn't use it. I think she does use hot glue sometimes, but not very often. She uses a different kind of glue, you know, or hand sews it, whatever. She uses more of a wet glue than hot glue. So it is possible to do it without a glue gun, but glue guns are quicker. So you can use your needle and thread, and you can just put a little tacking stitch in here and there to hold it. Okay, but I'm just going to show you how to do it with a glue gun just for quickness. Okay, so your first move is to fold this corner down to make like a triangle. Okay, and then you get your corner here and you roll it and roll it tight like you're making a little bud. So you just roll it as tight as you can to the end of where you folded that triangle. Okay, and then you've got a tight little twist like that. Okay, now it's going to be difficult for me to show you facing you the way that you do it, so I'm going to have to do it facing me, and you're just going to have to get the gist of it. But this is something you want to do, and you just want to have a play with a piece of ribbon, and just play with it without gluing it. Okay, and just hold it and practice the twisting if you've not ever done these before. But I can guarantee if you haven't done them before and you try this, yeah, you'll be making them all day. All day, I've just warned you. Don't bother thinking you're going to do your housework or your ironing once you've figured out how to make these, because you'll be doing them all day. So you've got it twisted like that, and then what you do is, if I can just come round, you get your thumb under there in your hand and you just fold down again in another triangle, okay? But kind of offset, okay? Can you see that? Did I show that very well? No, because I'm trying to twist my arm round. Right, so if I'm folding, if I'm there, I am twisting it under, okay? Am I in shot? No. Oh dear. You're twisting it under, alright. Let me get my ribbon to that side. And then you just roll it round, okay, until you've got another, till you're at the end of that. And then just put a little, the first tiny few folds might look a little bit untidy, but it'll come together. You just keep persevering and keep hold of it, and you're just rolling, really, basically you're just rolling to the end of where you've folded, and then when you're at the end of where you've folded, I'm in shot. You get hold of it and you twist it under, so that all you're doing is you're just folding it under and then rolling it round, okay? Then you're folding it under and you're rolling it round, and that's basically all you're doing until you get a shape you like. Like I say, if you've not done them before, just play with a piece of ribbon and have a go. And the tighter you roll it or the slacker you roll it will give you different results. The length that you use will give you different results. It would help if I had a glue gun that worked. I promised I wasn't going to moan about my glue gun, didn't I? Sorry. I can't help it. Glue guns do my head in. Right, so you just, and then I hold it between my thumb and finger. Try it. Quite difficult to say. Finger and thumb. Finger and thumb. I'm only teasing. Little dab of glue, and then just gently tack it on. And then you're starting to form your shape. So then you're tucking under, and you're just going round your flower. You're tucking under. Oh. Get out, tuck it under, and you'll start to form a rose. Tuck it under, go round a bit, tuck it under again, go round a bit, and just keep doing that. Okay, and if you're holding it between your finger and your thumb there, it'll hold it sturdy for you. And then you just put a little dab of glue, glue stick, falling out, and you just keep, you know, and if it feels like it's a little bit loose in the middle, just go back in, like there. I'm not happy with that. I'm just going to go back in. I'm just going to put a tiny dab of glue in there. Just push it gently. There's loads of videos out there. Rolled rose, okay? My tutorial might not be the best because it's quite a difficult thing to show. But basically, if you just see, look, you're folding under and you're curling round, and that's all you do until you get the size that you want. Bit of glue, there you go, fold it under. So all the time you're folding under towards yourself. That's all you're doing. And then you just move around in a circle and tack it underneath. And like I say, just practice. It's really, really easy once you get the hang of it. Get it to the size that you want and you cut it off. Then you're left with that. You just glue that little bit there under. Don't matter if it's not terribly tidy, because it's going to be, you're going to probably, and then just glue on the back of that. You're probably going to add it onto something, so you're not going to see the back side of it. So just press it down like that, hold it while it glues. Yeah, and then you've got a rolled rose. And then what I do sometimes is I just check that it's all, I mean that's quite a loose one because I've not glued it, I've not squashed it down, so it's nice. Now if you want this bit that's sticking out off, just very carefully cut it. And then either just go over that little bit there with hot glue. And then just smush it round with end. And then leave it to dry. That will hold all them folds together so it definitely don't come undone. Or if you've got a nice melty ribbon, you can run your flamethrower over it and then dab the ends carefully and it'll melt those ends so that it don't come unravelled from the bottom part. Just be careful when you're tapping melted ribbon, because if it's a melted ribbon, it's got a lot of plastic in it, a lot of nylon. And I'm not kidding, when you touch that when it's hot, that will burn you worse than glue. So you be very careful. And there you go. So then, you know, you can put it in the middle of one of your metal embellishments if you bought the kit from me. So that's a rolled rose. And like I say, have a play. Once you get them going, you can use strips of anything. Random strips of fabric, absolutely anything. And you'll get the same result. It's just fold it under, push it round, fold it under, push it round. Okay? Not very good explanation, but I'm sure you can, if you get a piece of ribbon, you'll figure it out. It's not difficult. Go and have some fun. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. I can turn my camera off anyway.